What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another daily video that I post here on my channel every single day, 7 days a week. Yeah, that's a load of crap. Yeah, so it's been about a year since I posted. Just 11 months, not quite, I'm trying to stay a little bit consistent, twice a year uploads. That's pretty consistent. So, I got another video today. It's the chess tournament part 2. All right, hope you all enjoy. And with that, let's start the recap. So this year I had 32 people instead of 16, doubling our numbers each year. All right, so I split it up into 4 different groups of 8. Just that way the rankings would be easier. So it was 1 through 8 instead of 1 through 32, just because I had never seen most of these people play. I had no idea where to rank them. But even then, you'll see that several of the rankings were very much off, and there were several upsets. That's just on me. I'd never seen these people play before. All right, so the first of the 1 seeds was me, because I won last year, obviously. And second place last year, my dad, he was a 1 seed. Nathan, who was 3rd, was a 1 seed. And Dawson, I think, who was 4th, was a 1 seed. So yeah. So besides that, I just filled everybody else in. So to start off the game, I'll just go down to the first round. Me versus Anna, a 1 versus 8 seed. I think this was the quickest game of the tournament. I won in about 7 moves. I gotta start off strong, Then it was Mr. Mayhill versus Mr. Beals. I think the 2nd and 3rd oldest people in the tournament. Maybe not. Maybe 3rd and 4th. So, and Mr. Mayhill won that game. So he'll move on to face me next. Then I had Ben versus Jalen, a 2 versus 7 seed. Again, I'd never seen either of them play, or at least not that I could remember. And so it actually ended up going a lot different than I thought. So Jalen, the 7 seed, actually won, advancing, making my bracket super easy, because the first I thought was the 2 seed ended up losing, because Jalen was way better than I thought. So now I have to be worried about 7 seed. After that, we had Josie versus my mom, which, if you remember from last video, my mom is the first one I placed, and I beat her in 10 moves last time too. Well, this was a lot closer of a game, but Josie ended up winning and beating my mom in that one. So that's the first round in my bracket. Then we'll go on to Nathan's bracket. First game was Nathan versus Sarah. 2 of my siblings facing each other. And this is the 1 versus 8 seed. Yeah, Nathan won. Second was Esther versus Justin. This was a lot closer of a game, and it was really thrown by Esther because she didn't really want to play later in the tournament. So Justin ended up winning, but just barely, and just because he's the only one that really wanted to play. Next was Mitchell versus Mrs. Mayhill. Now this one was a 2 versus 7 seed. And you would think that a 2 seed would win, just like you would have thought a 2 seed would have won in this one. But no. Well, he did win. But it was not very well. It was like getting down to the wire, back and forth, endgame crazy. I was really surprised by Mrs. Mayhill and a little on Mitchell. But Mitchell ended up winning and moving on. Next was Nadia vs. Ruth, a 3 versus 6 seed, and this one was not close. Nadia was a 3 seed, but she probably should have been higher because she easily won this one, and we'll see how far she goes. Alright, let's move on to the other side of the bracket, Dawson's group. He placed Warwick in the first round, a 1 versus 8 seed, and he beat him really easily. No surprise there. Then it was Katie versus Marshall, what is that, 4 and 5 seed? Yeah. Katie ended up winning that one very easily. Even though it was a really close game, like 4 and 5, you'd think, but no, she won pretty easily. Then Alan versus Brody, another 2 versus 7 seed that I did not see this one coming, because the 2 seed ended up winning. Oh wait, I said that wrong. Reverse that. I'll edit that in post. Alright, a 2 versus 7, and the 7 seed ends up winning. That's crazy. 2 out of the 3 games so far of 2 versus 7 seeds, the 7 seed has won, and then the other one, the 7 seed almost won. Oh my goodness, these are some crazy upsets. Did not see this one coming. I think they actually drew their game, and so I had determining that if they drew, that the lower seed would automatically win, because I didn't want to play second games. Some of the more important games, we did do a second or third game until we got eventually a winner. Alright, next was Branson versus Matt. Matt is the youngest person in the tournament, so he did lose, unfortunately, but he's showing lots of potential for future years. Future GM incoming. Alright, next is my dad's group. So he played Hannah, my sister, and yeah, that was pretty easily a win for my dad. Sorry about that, Hannah. Yeah, 1 versus 8 seed. What do you see? All right, Noah Aldridge versus Mary. Now, this was a pretty close game, but Noah is actually the one who did the most studying out of everyone. He actually went back and watched my lame videos from last year. I mean, amazing videos, well produced by last year. And yeah, so he was actually able to do some studying, learn some, and he won that game. Good on you, Noah. Shout out to you. All right, next was Keller versus Hunter. This one was a pretty easy one for the 3 seed Keller. He took that one. Then was Josh versus Levi. This is the only definitive 2 versus 7 seed. Josh won that one pretty easily, and he's moving on. Now, let's move on to the round of 16. And we're back for the Sweet 16. All right, let's start off in my group. So this group, it was me versus Mr. Mayhill. All right, I won that one pretty easily. I am steamrolling through this tournament. Going back for championship, baby. All right, next was Jalen versus Josie. So Jalen, as I showed last time, was a 7 seed that beat a 2 seed, and he showed very much promise. But then he turns around and plays the next game and totally loses all his skill he ever had and loses to Josie. Now, this is making me look very good. I have one more game left in my tournament to win my pool of 8, and I think I am facing a 3 seed, but not a very great 3 seed in my opinion. My bracket was actually pretty weak compared to everyone else's. Not any biasing in making these brackets at all. So yeah, my championship game is set. Next we have Nathan versus Justin. Now this was a pretty good game, but Nathan knows his stuff. He's about 1200 or so. We'll give him that much rating. And yeah, he was able to win this game. Next we had Mitchell versus Nadia, a 2 versus 3 seed. So, you know, we're getting in the mid 600-700 rating. They're pretty good. And actually Nadia was able to win this one. She was the 3 seed and move on. She's showing much promise. I'll definitely rate her higher next year. All right, next we have Dawson versus Katie. Now Katie, this is a high level game. Dawson's like 1400 in blitz and stuff. He's really good. Katie's like a 600 in blitz, rapid or whatever. I don't know, kind of making these names off the top of my head. I know she plays though. Her husband has made her play a lot. But Dawson was able to win that one. He's pretty good. He's a heavy favorite in this tournament, that's for sure. He's done lots of games between now and last year. Lot as in like 3,000 or 4,000. All right, next is Brody versus Branson. This one's an interesting one because this is a brother matchup, but there's a big age gap in here. And the younger one actually won. Brody wins this one and moves on to face Dawson. That's embarrassing, Branson. You need to learn some stuff. All right, next is my dad versus Noah. And this is another good one. These are both methodical, slow thinkers. And it ended up being a real tight game, but my dad, he's been playing for a few more years, and he's learned some things. He actually ended up winning that one. Next is another 2 versus 3 seed matchup. A very good game that ended in a draw. Josh was actually up in that game, but he misinterpreted the end game, and Keller was able to make it a draw. And they played another game. Keller just did better. What can I say? He's the better player. He moves on. All right, and now we are in the championship games of each of our brackets. These are pretty big games. The winner of this got a mini trophy, but they moved on to the final 4, which 3 of them got a pretty decent sized trophy. All right, me versus Josie. I won that one pretty easily. My tournament. Oh man, I'm gonna win this so easily. I moved to the final 4, not breaking a sweat. All my games have been like under 15 moves, easy. Nathan versus Nadia. This was a very good game. 1 versus 3 seed, but they were both pretty good ones. Like that was a kind of harder bracket, not gonna lie over there. But Nathan was able to win that one and seal himself in the final 4. Next, we got Dawson versus Brody. Brody's one of the youngest ones in this tournament, and surprised he made it this far. I did not rate him that high. He had an upset in the last round versus his brother. But Dawson is just too good. He easily wins that one. All right, my dad versus Keller. Now this one's a 3 seed versus 1 seed. Still another very good game. My dad was able to win that one because he's just more of a methodical, slower thinker. Keller's more of a blitz player, and because they were able to negotiate to a higher time, my dad was able to win that one just because He's a little bit better. He's not quick, but he's better. All right. And so now we have our Final Four set. Me, Nathan, Dawson, and my dad. This is the Final Four. This is what everybody came to see. All 2 of my viewers have been waiting for this moment since last year. Alrighty, here it is. The first game. Me versus Nathan, my brother. A rivalry as old as I am. Because I'm 19, it's 19 years old. This rivalry has been going crazy. The amount of chess games have gone back and forth over the years. But who will win when the pressure's on when it comes to the tournament? Well, this game was a highly anticipated game. There were viewers all around. It was definitely not played at Pizza Hut at a family reunion. Definitely not. But it was a very high stakes game. And you know who won? It was me. Let's go. I am the better brother. All right. Look at that. Woo! I'm going to go ahead and grab my name. Stick it on the board. Advancing to the final game. Ooh, this is looking good for back-to-back wins. Alrighty. And the next game, Dawson versus my dad. A rematch of the semifinals last year, I do believe. If not, it was the round before that. I know they played last year. But the outcome was different this year. Dawson is just too good. Man, he beat my dad. Even though my dad made it to the final last year, he beat him in the semifinals. And Dawson is moving on. Can't say I'm too surprised. Dawson has been cracked. He's been playing so much on chess.com, especially Bullet and Blitz. He is a speed demon. All right, the final is set. Me versus Dawson. Arguably the 2 best in the tournament. Nah, not really arguably. We play a lot of chess. I mean a ton of chess. All right, it all came down to this. Do I repeat or does Dawson get redemption from last year? He's been training so hard. The winner was Dawson. He beat me in my own tournament. At least you guys now know it's not rigged. Dawson is our champion and winner of the Golden King crown. I myself won a Silver Queen crown. And then there was also a Bronze Knight crown for the winner of 3rd place. There was a consolation game if you made it to the Final Four. That's the only consolation game in the whole tournament. And Nathan ended up beating my dad in that one, taking 3rd place. These are just good ways to know for next year how the rankings are going to be. All right, and that concludes my tournament. And here is my 2nd place consolation prize. This will serve as a reminder for me to play more chess and get better for next year. I'm coming for you, Dawson. All right, so the tournament is over, but there's much planning to be done for next year. Next year, I had a few issues with this year. So I had, for the format, people just agree upon a time. And that was not very good. Because like people like Dawson and Keller wanted to have blitz games, 3 5-minute games. And people like my dad and Noah Aldrich, they wanted to have like 20, 30-minute games. Both very good forms of chess. I like them both. But when they come in conflict with each other, it can make some problems. So, for next year, I am announcing I'm going to have 3 tournaments. A rapid, a blitz, and a bullet tournament. Now, I don't expect many people to be in the bullet tournament because they will not be very high-level chess. But the blitz and the rapid should be very competitive. And I think I probably can already guess who's going to win them. But I'm looking forward to seeing next year many upsets and many victories. All right. Well, if you want to be in the tournament, just get a hold of me. And even if you're a viewer watching, I can maybe even do some online games. So, prepare for next year. And I'll see you all later. Peace!